Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Cord Cutting TV, Bravo's Restaurant Bar, El Rey Lounge de Versalles, Joint Boutique Hotel and Cowork, Monson Brewing Company, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, Oculto, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we, as usual, take a look at headlines from our city, our state, our country, with one goal: to better connect with what's around us, to better connect with each other. And it's a pleasure to do that every morning with you. And it's a pleasure to do that with those of you that connect with us later on in the day through our uploads to both Facebook and YouTube. Today is Tuesday, March 18, and it's it's a pleasure to see you this morning, Betsy. And cuts to the chase, you were a great contestant last night. Well, we'll get to talk about that in a second. It was great to see you, dear friend. We have news, of course, today. Important news. And yes, I want to talk about what went on last night at Nacho Daddy, because in my humble opinion, it was bigger than meets the eye. And I want to share my insights with you and find out what you think about them. But before we go there, let us go to our news as always. And boom, here we go. Just in case you did not, hold on just a second. There you go. Just in case you did not get the memo, Puerto Vallarta beaches have been closed to the public, according to Civil Protection Commander Misael Lopez Muro. The measure, which began this past Saturday, is in place due to the persistent high waves in the area. The beach closure was decreed to prevent incidents. However, it was not enough, as this Sunday, two tourists, one from Guadalajara and one from Chapala, died by drowning. The incidents occurred despite lifeguard warnings and the presence of red flags on the beaches. I don't know if the beach continues to be closed this morning. Today is Tuesday, of course, but I can tell you this. My little window, which sits right here next to me, I can feel a very, very cold breeze coming in. So if you feel the urge to go swimming in the ocean, kindly don't. The beaches are closed. If you have friends that are visiting that want to go swimming in the ocean, not a good idea, at least until those red flags are removed from the equation. Moving right along, let's see. Oh, we just talked about this Ferris wheel, and it's a go, along with parking meters. Puerto Vallarta's tourist and commercial district will have virtual smart parking meters, similar to those in Guadalajara. At the recent city council meeting, an important step was taken when they approved the drafting of a call for bids. The mayor explained that the city's vehicle fleet has grown to the tune of about one vehicle for every two residents, and the number of vehicles increases every day, creating congestion and traffic. Therefore, they urged the development of a strategy to promote rotation of vehicles and organizing parking spaces, particularly where there are businesses, restaurants, and bars. The city also approved in advance the analysis of the project to install the Ferris wheel and a Venetian-style carousel that will hopefully attract more tourism to Puerto Vallarta. And at that same meeting, the city council approved a new loan application for up to 181 million pesos, payable for up to 15 years. Among the 21 projects planned with these funds, the following stand out: the paving of Avenida Mexico, widening it to 4 lanes from Mojoneras to Ixtapa; construction of the linear park on the median strip of Highway 544 across from Ixtapa, where a street market is located; and paving the main road from Independencia Street at the entrance to Ixtapa to the prison out there. These are all important projects for our city, even when they may be happening in areas that you may not spend a lot of time at. Or maybe you do. Why do I know? This one is of no use, but it caught my attention. Other places have been frowning over the fact that eggs are now so expensive. So I was intrigued to learn that with a share of over 54% of total production, Jalisco, our state, leads the nation in egg production. The most important region for egg production in our state is the Altos de Jalisco region, considered the most productive. And we're talking of an annual output of 418,961 tons of egg. And my friends, that is a ginormous omelette. Only God knows how much it would cost, but that's a different story. And last but not least, speaking of food, President Claudia Sheinbaum signed this Monday during her morning press conference the decree reforming Articles 4 and 27 of the Constitution regarding the conservation and protection of native corn varieties. Corn has been important to Mexico as a staple of our food and as a cultural heritage element since the pre-Hispanic times. And this reform, which was approved by the Congress of the Union and the majority of state legislatures, establishes that corn cultivation in the national territory must be free of genetic modifications, produced using techniques that overcome natural barriers to reproduce, or recombination such as transgenic crops. So none of that is allowed in Mexico, and I thought you would want to know. And now, Paco, where is it? It really helps if I turn the weather on. Otherwise, we cannot take a look at the weather. I have done so, and here it is. Okay. Jesus motorboating Christ, it's sunny. Well, it is sunny and it is breezy, but I already told you that. It is 26 degrees out there right now. Humidity is at 66%, and our weather forecast tells us that we're going to enjoy clear skies throughout the day with a high of 27 and a low of 18. Tomorrow, also clear skies with a high of 27 and a low of 16. And then on Thursday, mostly clear skies with a high of 27 and a low of 14. Before we go any further, I learned yesterday that just a few days ago, Jardín Mágico, Puerto Vallarta's very own butterfly sanctuary, turned 5 years. And I'll be happy to admit that it took me 4 years to get there. And when I finally got there, I couldn't speak enough about this wonderful place. Fabian, the guy that runs it along with his team, has done a great job of creating this space that is enclosed in some parts and open in others, where you can learn about how important butterflies are to our ecosystem. If you haven't visited Jardín Mágico, it is truly a worthwhile experience. You will be guided through the place. You will be there will be explanations in both English and Spanish about the life cycle of the butterfly, and it's something completely unexpected, and I wanted you to know about that. Happy birthday, Jardín Mágico. Muchas felicidades. And I want to talk about this, and I want to spend some time telling you about my experience at Match That Snatch last night. For starters, for the record, even though I seem very comfortable in front of the microphone here, and I seem very comfortable when I am doing my music appreciation presentations. It's very simple. I feel comfortable because I am in control. Nothing detours me more than being on a stage with lights shining on my face and not being able to control the situation. Uh, it just, I get into a panic. But even before we go there, let me explain a little bit of what went on last night. Last night, the wonderful Diana Francis, along with Guda Gabor, put together their own version of the Snatch Game, which has been popularized in the RuPaul game, in the RuPaul show, in which three judges are asked a question, and and contestants are expected to match the answer with whatever the judges wrote on a piece of paper. So I have some photos to show you. First of all, here is the wonderful Diana Francis as host Gene Gayburn. Only God knows where she got that outfit. I mean, look at the plaid in that suit. It was just crazy. She looked absolutely wonderful and totally looked the part. And of course, I was one of the contestants that was brought up to the stage along with Sharon Gerber. And this is me sitting up on the stage, frightfully close to the host and the judges. And of course, I was all nervous because that's how I get. And Sharon, oh my God, Sharon, she has a potty mouth that I never knew. I didn't know that she was capable of such wonderful, colorful metaphors that came out of her mouth. It was all very funny. But for me, the craziest moment was when inadvertently, I must have seemed nervous because I think Diana asked me something along the lines of, "Can we get you anything?" And I said, "A joint." So Eric, my friend Eric Fierro, who's sitting up front with my friend Julie Guerrero, Eric comes up on the stage and gives me a joint, and I hold it in my mouth, and I hold it in my hands, and I put it in my mouth, and he whips out a lighter, and before I could think about what was happening, I lit up a joint and took a puff right in the middle of Nacho Daddy. Everybody laughed, or I think everybody laughed. And Diana looks at me and she says, "Oh, Paco, I don't think we can do that there. We can do that here." And I was like, just sort of holding my breath. Anyhow, it was very funny. I lost on this game. I was disqualified very quickly because I didn't get the proper answers. But here is what makes me bow in their general direction. And it'll take me a while to put these thoughts together. So please indulge me. You know, we live in a town, in a city. We live in a city where most of the English speaking entertainment, and correct me if I'm wrong, I would love to be corrected or clarified. Most of the English speaking entertainment caters to tourists. This is my opinion. If you think I am wrong, I would love to find out what else is going on out there that is in English that does not necessarily cater to tourists. Last night was all about English speaking locals. Diana came up with amazing questions that you needed to be a local to know the answers for. And of course, they were supposed to be silly questions. Like one of the questions that comes to mind um, was it was a fill in the blank question that was the line of tourists waiting to eat tacos at Pancho's Tacos is longer than blank. So the judges had to come up with an answer and write it down. You, as a contestant, had to come up with your own answer. And whenever you said it, if your answer didn't match the judges, you lost. But what I'm getting at here is all the questions had cultural references that, for the most part, You needed to be an English speaking local to get the answers for. You needed to be an English speaking local. This show, whether by design or not, was catering English speaking locals. I felt right at home, which is not how I feel when I go see shows that are catering to tourists. I'm not saying that I don't enjoy those shows, although a lot of times I don't. But it is so refreshing to walk into a venue where the mindset is, let us entertain people that live here. And it was absolutely refreshing to enjoy that. I had a great time despite the fact that I was up on the stage. It's not my favorite place to be when I'm not in control, but I was happy to play along with the game. In the end, the house was completely full. I forgot to tell you. And in my hat. What am I trying to say? Hats off, hands off. Congratulations. That's what I'm trying to say. Congratulations to Hannah, who does all the sound for Nacho Daddy, because he had all the sound effects of Price is Right. And there was like all the tunes that you know from Bob Barker's time when he used to do the game shows. It was a perfect evening. It was a perfect evening designed for English speaking locals. So do keep this in mind because you are in for a treat. There's another show this coming Monday. They will repeat it with new judges, new questions, new contestants, and it'll be a lot of fun. And if you are a performer in town, particularly if you are a local performer and you're thinking, oh shit, the gringos are leaving. What am I going to do during the summer? Study this notion of entertainment for locals and really try to find a way to make it work within the context of what you bring to the table. Because while I understand and I appreciate that a lot of English speaking folk head up north during the summer months, there's a lot of English speaking locals that stick around that probably don't want to go out there because A, the temperature, and B, the entertainment is not for us. So hats off. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Hats off to Nacho Daddy for allowing their artists to think outside the box and programming things that are different, which is another thing. I mean, between drag shows, which are a lot of fun, and tributes that may or may not be for you or for me or for anyone, it is so refreshing to see a different kind of entertainment in the city. And I've gone around in circles a number of times. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that this is something you don't want to miss. You will laugh silly. And let me see if there's anything else that is truly pressing. Well, we cannot leave or spend a day without talking about Hands-On Vallarta, which is happening this Saturday, and I got a chance to promote it last night, so I was really happy. Remember, 11 great organizations are going to be present at the Joint Boutique Hotel this coming Saturday from 12 to 3 for us to learn about their volunteering opportunities. It is free. All you have to do is show up. Go to the markets, which happen nearby, and just come back to the Joint Boutique Hotel and hang out. And of course, on Thursday, we are unpacking La Boheme by Giacomo Puccini. It's the world's most popular opera. If you don't know La Boheme, you have to know La Boheme because everybody knows it and everybody loves it, and you're going to love it. Even if you think you don't like opera, you will be pleasantly surprised. And now let's go to your comments. But first, let's go to your comments directly. What the heck? Comment button. There you go. Da 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 da. Let's see. Good mornings all around. Thank you very much. Many good. Peggy, my head is between my legs because you invited me to something on Sunday and I dropped the ball and I forgot to say that I was unavailable and I completely apologize. But I look forward to seeing you on Volunteer Day. I hope you had a successful event at Art Vallarta Museo. Let's see. I'm going to say good morning to Clemmy Rice because Clemmy Rice sounds wonderful. Hello, Clemmy. It's good to see you at Villa del Palmar, which I understand is going to be demolished to build towers. I don't know. I think I may have heard something to that effect. Let's see. Ba-dum, bum, ba. Da 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 da. Carmen Porras, I haven't seen you in forever. Carmen says, yay, no transgenic maíz. Absolutely. We want the real deal, and we don't want any funky treated maíz, corn, whatever, in Mexico. No, we don't. But how are you? How are those public dinners coming along? How are your cooking classes coming along? If there's anything that our viewers need to know about, let us know. Let's see. Oh, that requires no comment. And Ricardo says, bravo, no to genetically modified, GMO. I suppose that has to do with corn. Thank you very much, Ricardo. And Ricardo also chimes in on Jardín Mágico. It's such a magical place. I totally recommend it. And Betsy says, the joints smell divine. Oh, and here's something that I didn't realize until yesterday, I suppose, and I don't know if I should say this or not. Let's just say that, when fuck it. Whenever there's an intermission at Nacho Daddy, a lot of people go out the steps, the door that leads to the balcony of the venue, and a lot of people are smoking cigarettes out there, and I never thought about going out there because I don't smoke cigarettes, but last night I went out there with my friend Julie, and I'm just going to say that I came back so much more relaxed and so much happier than I was before. Enough said. Let's see what else we have. Yes, see you tomorrow, Jordan. I was about to send you your confirmation letter, but I guess I don't have to anymore. And I ran into Sargento Dan last night. They're going to be my two interviewees tomorrow at the Joint. So if you want to come and hang out with us, please feel free to do so. It'll be great to find out about these performers and what they're up to. Betsy, you are such a trooper, and I love you for that. Looking forward to both the music appreciation presentation and the volunteering event on Sunday. Oh, and of course, I shared this information with Betsy, but I can share it with you now. The Met, which, as you know, broadcasts their operas several times per month or several times per year in cinemas all around the world, including in Guadalajara, has released their 25-26 season, and they will broadcast La Boheme again. Yay. So we're going to be talking about La Boheme, and in a few months, we'll have the experience or the opportunity to enjoy it on a screen in Guadalajara. So that makes me very happy. Pudim pum pum pum. Just as you were speaking of butterflies, one happened to join me for coffee on the deck. Ironic. I would say iconic. Hello, Chris. It's great to read you, and I'm so glad that you were joined by a butterfly. Hello, Clemmy. Clemmy is laughing with me. I love it. That's what I thought. Villa del Palmar is now doing a remodel, not demolition, and two towers. Yes, I knew there was something going on in that hotel. And Clemmy confirms demolished by June in sections. Well, that hotel has been there for some time, so if it's time to zhuzh it up, then it is, I suppose. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Regina! Oh my God! Regina, Un abrazote para ti. Regina, of course, is the most amazing, charismatic, crazy, funny, adorable bartender you could ever find. She's part of the Oculto team. So whenever I have had dinner at Oculto, I always look forward to the cocktails that Regina is going to serve me. She is amazing. You are amazing, querida amiga, and it's great to see you this morning. And I am peripherally catching this conversation between Clemmy and Albert about what's happening at Villa del Palmar. I'm also a timeshare holder. Every time you turn around, it's always something different. Well, as long as it continues being good value, I suppose it is a good thing. And speaking of good value, I hope that Coffee and Headlines continues to be a good value for you as we turn 5 years old, which will happen at the end of this month. We started Coffee and Headlines with a premise that if there's something valuable for you here, then you will appreciate it and somehow you will reward it. And that continues to be our model. If you find yourselves finding good company or great connections or great tips on how to better enjoy yourselves and better connect with each other and with our city, our country, our culture, then consider a donation of coffees, consider a membership. This is all going on because of you. If it wasn't for those of you that pursue a membership or buy Luna and I the occasional coffee cup, it would not be possible. So I thank you as always for being a member, for being a subscriber or an occasional contributor. And for those of you that aren't, it's okay. But hopefully you will be at some point, or at the very least, you will take some time to subscribe, to follow, to share, to click thumbs up, and to increase awareness of everything we bring to the table. It is time to get going, but it'll be a pleasure to see you tomorrow morning for more Coffee and Headlines. Have an amazing day.